All right, there we go. So, as I said, today we will be voting, having our discussion and voting on Disney's best movie or the best slash favorite Disney movie. Again, just like we did with Marvel, just like we did with Walt Disney World attractions, you define best or favorite the way you want to define it. I give no definitions of it. So, to some people, um, you may be looking at the bracket thinking this is the best movie made, or this is just my favorite movie made, because a lot of the movies on the bracket um, were included because of my identification with the movies. Do you want to go through like we have with the other brackets and you go through round one, round two, round three? Or do you want to go section by section? So, in other words, we would talk about Disney animated, then we would come over and probably talk about Disney live action, and we would go all the way to who wins Disney animated, who wins Disney live action to be over here in this final four. And then we would do that for each bracket, bring it all together at the end to talk about who's going to be the best of those four. What are people's preferences?
I'd rather do section.
Okay, then let's go ahead and we'll go by section. We will let's actually start over in Disney live action, because I imagine with Disney Plus now, people would have had the opportunity to watch all of these in previous semesters. This is the bracket that is a little more, it goes a little quicker. People have less of a preference for some of these movies because a lot of people have seen one movie but maybe haven't seen all of them. So we'll go through this again. If you have discussion, feel free, unmute yourself. Um, Make sure to get our attention so we can have discussion. As far as the vote, just use the little thumbs up icon for your vote. Okay. So the first matchup is right here, the 116 matchup in the Disney live action bracket. Mary Poppins at number 1 versus Swiss Family Robinson at number 16. These are the original Mary Poppins, the original Swiss Family Robinson movies. Anyone have anything they want to say about either of these? All right, so thumbs up for Mary Poppins. Okay. Mary Poppins will move through. Mary Poppins is known as kind of the movie that spurred the happiest time at the studio. Everyone had such a great time. And if you've seen Saving Mr. Banks, which is later on down on this list at number 2, you know at least some of the backstory or the way the Disney franchise tells the backstory. So the 8-9 matchup, Blackbeard's Ghost, an original movie from the 60s, versus The Rocketeer at number 9, the 1990s fantasy movie. Has anyone ever seen The Rocketeer or Blackbeard's Ghost? All right. Let's do thumbs up for Blackbeard's Ghost. Thumbs up for Rocketeer. Okay. So Rocketeer it is. Then we have number 5 versus 12, the 5-12 matchup. At number 5, the Mighty Ducks, which, if you remember, spurred the Walt Disney Company into owning an NHL team. That was kind of the emphasis of that. The Anaheim Mighty Ducks, now known as the Anaheim Ducks, were owned by the Walt Disney Company at one point. So Mighty Ducks versus the Ugly Dachshund. Let's change it up a little bit, and thumbs up for the Ugly Dachshund. Thumbs up for the Mighty Ducks. All right. Then we have 4 versus 13. 4 is Miracle, this movie about the 1980 U.S. men's hockey team beating Russia and winning the Olympic gold medal, versus the number 13 seed, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Very popular movie in the early 90s when it was released. Thumbs up for Miracle. Thumbs up for Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. How about that? We have our first upset, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. We'll move on. The 6-11 matchup is 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea versus The Parent Trap. And this is the original Parent Trap at number 11. So thumbs up for, let's change it up. Thumbs up for The Parent Trap. Okay. One of Haley Mills' most popular movies that she made with the company. There we go. Let me save this as a different file. Then we have The Absent-Minded Professor. Again, this is the original Absent-Minded Professor versus at number 3 versus The Muppets, the 2011 movie at the number 14 seed. We'll change it up. Thumbs up for The Muppets, the 2011 movie. All right. Then we have the 7-10 matchup. At 7, we have The Love Bug versus 10, Pollyanna. The Love Bug being a catalyst for making Beetles, the Volkswagen Beetle, a popular car. Thumbs up for The Love Bug. Thumbs up for Pollyanna. Okay, the love bug will move on. And then we have the 2-15 matchup, the last one in the first round. 2, Saving Mr. Banks. Again, that backstory of how the company made Mary Poppins and the relationship between the Walt Disney Company and P.L. Travers and Walt Disney, the person. And versus number 15, Flight of the Navigator, an early Ethan Hawke movie. A thumbs up for number 2, Saving Mr. Banks. All right. All right, so then our second round, we have Mary Poppins at number 1 versus The Rocketeer at number 9. Thumbs up for Mary Poppins. Okay. There we go. Then we have The Mighty Ducks at number 5 versus Honey, I Shrunk the Kids at number 13. We'll change it up, and thumbs up for Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. All right. There we go. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids doing pretty well in this one. Then we have 11 versus 4, 2 upsets. 11, The Parent Trap versus number 14, The Muppets from 2011. Thumbs up for The Parent Trap. This is the original Parent Trap movie. All right. The Parent Trap will move on. Haley Mills' popular song, Let's Get Together, wins the day. And then we have the 7-2 matchup. 7, The Love Bug versus number 2, Saving Mr. Banks. Thumbs up for The Love Bug. This is the original Love Bug. Okay. Thumbs up for Saving Mr. Banks. All right. Saving Mr. Banks. It is. So now we're in the quarterfinals, or I guess actually the semifinal of this bracket. Number 1, Mary Poppins versus number 13, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Thumbs up for Mary Poppins. Okay. There we go, Mary Poppins. And then the other matchup, number 11, The Parent Trap, the original one, versus number 2, Saving Mr. Banks. Thumbs up for The Parent Trap. Oh, okay. I thought we were going to have an original versus a depiction of that movie, but the Parent Trap will move on. All right. So then the championship of this bracket, Mary Poppins at number 1 versus the Parent Trap at number 11. Thumbs up for Mary Poppins. Okay. So Mary Poppins will come out of the Disney live action bracket. So now preference, we'll go ahead and we'll stay with Disney on brand and we'll go animated. So we're working with the Disney animated bracket, and the first matchup is number 1 Frozen versus number 16 101 Dalmatians. Thumbs up for number 1 Frozen. All right. Then the 8-9 matchup. Number 8 Sleeping Beauty versus number 9 Peter Pan. Anyone have discussion on any of these? Okay, thumbs up for Sleeping Beauty. Thumbs up for Peter Pan. Peter Pan, there we go. The number 5 matchup, Aladdin versus Moana. Aladdin, part of the Renaissance. Moana, an incredible, amazing movie unto itself, kind of bringing in this modern age of, or this recent phase of Disney animated movies. So let's change it up. Thumbs up for Moana. All right. Thumbs up for Aladdin. All right. Aladdin wins out. Then we have 4 Lion King versus 13 Pinocchio. Let's do thumbs up for Lion King. Okay. Lion King will move on. And then number 6, Snow White, the very first animated movie released by the company, the first major feature released by any company, versus number 11, Dumbo. Let's change it up and do thumbs up for Dumbo. All right, thumbs up for Snow White. All right, Snow White it is. Then we have our 3-14 matchup. 3, The Little Mermaid versus 14, Alice in Wonderland. Thumbs up for The Little Mermaid. All right, Little Mermaid it is. And then Cinderella at number 7 versus Bambi at number 10. And an interesting story about Bambi. When it was being made, tensions were building at the studio. And this is kind of one of those moments that pushed the person, Walt Disney, to pursuing other things like Disneyland and WED Enterprises. The popular, when Walt Disney would walk down the hall in the studio, people would yell down the hall, "Man is in the forest," because that was the popular line from, or a popular line from Bambi, when they would say "Man is in the forest," and it would tell everybody to be on guard or watch out, because tensions were running so high at the studio at the time. Employees were saying that as well about Walt Disney. So thumbs up for number 7, Cinderella. Okay. Cinderella moves on. There are no, I guess there's one minor upset here, Sleeping Beauty and Peter Pan. And then the last one of the first round, number 2, Beauty and the Beast versus number 15, Fantasia. Thumbs up for Beauty and the Beast. All right. Beauty and the Beast was one of the first movies that Pixar was used for a background in that movie. Hold on 1 minute. I will be right back. All right. Thank you for that. So let's see. Then we have our second round. Frozen versus Peter Pan. Thumbs up for number one, Frozen. Okay, so Frozen by default will barely move on, it looks like. Aladdin versus Lion King, matchup of two of the Renaissance movies. Thumbs up for number 5, Aladdin. Thumbs up for number 4, Lion King. All right, so it looks like we have a tie. Anybody want to persuade one way or another? Or do we want to vote and see what happens again?
I'll give it to Lion King instead of Aladdin.
All right. So then thumbs up for Lion King. Okay. Oop. So Lion King will move on. Then we have number 6, Snow White versus number 3, Little Mermaid. Thumbs up for Snow White. Thumbs up for Little Mermaid. Okay. Snow White is, the profits from Snow White are how the company built the headquarters that they still are in today. Then number 7, Cinderella versus number 2, Beauty and the Beast. Thumbs up for Beauty and the Beast. All right. So it looks like we have 3 of the 4 are our Renaissance movies, and then Frozen being one of the more recent kind of not Renaissance, but redemption movies, I guess. So Frozen at number 1 versus Lion King at number 4. We'll switch it up. Thumbs up for Lion King. All right. Thumbs up for Frozen. Okay. Looks like Frozen will edge out Lion King there. And then we have The Little Mermaid at number 3 versus number 2, Beauty and the Beast. Thumbs up for Little Mermaid. All right, Little Mermaid it is. All right, so here is our championship for this bracket. Number 1, Frozen versus number 3, Little Mermaid. Frozen being one of the first big movies to show the relationship between sisters being more important than that kind of relationship that from previous movies of like princesses to princess, man versus woman. Also, Little Mermaid is one of the first movies, if not the first movie, to kind of be credited with the female lead taking matters into her own hands, not being the typical damsel in distress, if you will, as had been told many, many times throughout the Walt Disney Company's history. So, any comments over Frozen or The Little Mermaid?
Okay, are we including both Frozen 1 and Frozen 2, or is this just Frozen 1?
This is the first Frozen. This
Okay.
is just Frozen.
All right, then I got my pick.
Anyone else? All right. Let's thumbs up for Frozen. All right. Okay. Frozen it is. All right. So now let's come down to Star Wars and Marvel. Again, it's the the fantasy sci-fi acquisitions. And I know we've already done a Marvel bracket because of the popularity of Marvel and the MCU. But some of these are intermixed with some of the Star Wars movies. And so we have our 1/16 matchup, which is an all Star Wars matchup. Number 1, Return of the Jedi versus number 16, Revenge of the Sith, if anyone is familiar with the Star Wars galaxy. Thumbs up for Return of the Jedi. Okay, thumbs up for Revenge of the Sith. There's a 16-1 upset. How about that? We'll talk about that here in a little bit. Number 8 versus number 9. 8, The Force Awakens, the first movie made under the Disney brand or the Disney banner, versus number 9, Guardians of the Galaxy from the MCU. Thumbs up for The Force Awakens. Thumbs up for Guardians of the Galaxy. All right, Guardians of the Galaxy. Then we have number 5, Avengers Infinity War versus number 12, Solo. Thumbs up for Avengers Infinity War. I almost feel bad for the Star Wars movies with this group. The popularity of Star Wars versus the popularity of MCU. So we have the 4/13 matchup. At number 4, Black Panther, which I believe won our MCU Best Movie, versus number 13, Rogue One, one of the Star Wars stories told outside of the Skywalker saga. So we'll change it up. Thumbs up for Rogue One. All right. Thumbs up for Black Panther. Okay. I kind of think if every matchup were a Star Wars versus MCU matchup, we wouldn't have any Star Wars left after the first round, but we'll see. Here's an all MCU matchup. And this one could get awkward because number 6 is Iron Man. Number 11, Spider-Man Far From Home. So you have the mentor in Iron Man becoming Iron Man versus the mentor being remembered and by Spider-Man and Spider-Man Far From Home. Any comments on this one? All right, thumbs up for Iron Man at number 3. Okay, go with the original. Go with the first movie to come from the MCU. Iron Man wins out. We have number 3, Empire Strikes Back, which some people feel is the best Star Wars movie, versus number 14, Ant-Man from the MCU. Let's change it up and we'll do thumbs up for Ant-Man. Thumbs up for Empire Strikes Back. All right, so we have a tie. It's MCU versus Star Wars, I suppose. Comments either way. Persuasions either way.
I think I'm gonna go Ant-Man because, well, A, I'm more of an MCU fan than Star Wars, but B, I think the introduction of like the quantum realm and just like the quantum physics and stuff will be very important for the future of the MCU. So I think Ant-Man is more important than he's made out to be.
Okay. Anyone else? So we'll vote again. Thumbs up for Empire Strikes Back. Thumbs up for Ant-Man. There you go. The persuasion worked. All right. And then we have the 7-10 matchup. 7 is Marvel's The Avengers. So that was the first team-up movie in Phase 1 versus number 10, A New Hope, the very first Star Wars movie made, which when it was released was just called Star Wars. When they released the second one is when they had to add a subtitle to it. So thumbs up for A New Hope. Thumbs up for the Avengers. Okay, the Avengers wins out. And then number 2 versus number 15. Number 2, Avengers Endgame versus number 15, The Last Jedi. Thumbs up for Avengers Endgame. I won't put The Last Jedi through that. We'll just go ahead and Avengers Endgame moves on. So if we would not have had any, if everything would have been Star Wars versus MCU, basically we would be doing an MCU bracket at this point, which I imagine we're probably about to. I should say there's the possibility that we're going to be doing that anyway. So 16 versus 9, the 16 seed, the only one to beat a number 1 seed. It's only happened one time in NCAA men's basketball, 0 times, I believe, in NCAA women's basketball. It happens here. 16, Revenge of the Sith versus 9, Guardians of the Galaxy. Thumbs up for Revenge of the Sith. Thumbs up for Guardians of the Galaxy. There we go. All right. Then we have Avengers Infinity War at number 5 versus Black Panther at number 4. You all voted them through, so now you have some tough decisions to make. Any comments on these two? I want to say I have to go back. We may have had this matchup before. I don't know.
I was just about to say, I think this was the championship matchup.
This may have been. Thumbs up for Black Panther. Thumbs up for, okay, Black Panther it is. All right. And then we have Iron Man versus at number 6 versus Ant-Man at number 14. Iron Man started it all. As we pointed out, Ant-Man did introduce the quantum realm. So let's change it up and thumbs up for Ant-Man at number 14. Thumbs up for Iron Man at number 6. Iron Man wins out. The heist movie and the humor movie doesn't win this round. So then we have 2 team-up movies. Number 7, Marvel's The Avengers versus number 2, Avengers Endgame. Let's do thumbs up for Avengers Endgame. Okay. Although I think we all agree Avengers Endgame being so successful because it built on everything else that came before it. So the Avengers, if we go that route, the Avengers helped Endgame, therefore they helped put themselves on the wrong side of the boat. We have the 9 versus 4 matchup. Number 9, Guardians of the Galaxy versus number 4, Black Panther. Thumbs up for Guardians of the Galaxy. Thumbs up for Black Panther. Okay. I'd like to say that was a foregone conclusion, but you never know. We have the vote anyway, right? Number 6, Iron Man versus number 2, Avengers Endgame. So you have the very first MCU movie, Iron Man, being the person who makes the final sacrifice at the end of Avengers Endgame. So talk about a story arc of a character. Thumbs up for Iron Man. Thumbs up for Avengers Endgame. Avengers Endgame it is. All right, and the match, the championship of this bracket now, Black Panther at number 4 versus Avengers Endgame at number 2, and it's as though we did not even need to put any Star Wars movies in there with this class. Any comments? Tough decisions.
I don't know. Star Wars should have gone farther, but that's just me.
Star Wars should have gone farther. All right, anyone? All right, let's hear thumbs up for Avengers Endgame. All right, so Avengers Endgame looks like they'll edge this one out, and they will advance from the Marvel Star Wars bracket. Our last bracket is Pixar. Number 1, Toy Story 3 versus number 16, Cars 2. Thumbs up for Toy Story 3. All right. Toy Story 3 it is. Then we have 8 versus 9. 8, Finding Nemo versus 9, Cars, the first Cars movie. Let's change it up and thumbs up for number 9, Cars. Cars appreciates your votes. Thumbs up for number 8, Finding Nemo. There we go. Wallaby Way it is. Then we have the 5-12 matchup. 5, The Incredibles versus number 12, Toy Story 4. Toy Story 4 being a late addition to this bracket. Let's see what happens. Thumbs up for The Incredibles. We could have seen that coming with everybody's love of superheroes. Incredibles moves on. Number 4, Onward, the most recent movie, versus number 13, Up. Let's switch it up and we'll do thumbs up for Up. Okay, so it looks like Up will move on. How many people have been able to see Onward? Onward is, because I'm a father with 2 boys, Onward may very well be my favorite Pixar movie. It is, the way it was described, and definitely the way I feel about it is Pixar's version of Frozen for boys. It is a very, very good movie and an extremely good story to me. Up is amazing as well, however. So then we have our 6-11 matchup. 6, Coco versus number 11, WALL-E. Some people feel WALL-E is the most, possibly the best Pixar movie. Coco being very, very celebrated, especially around this time of year. So thumbs up for number 6, Coco. Thumbs up for number 11, WALL-E. All right, so we need a discussion. Somebody persuade us one way or another.
Okay, so I really enjoy the way that Coco focuses on like the tradition of Dia de los Muertos and how it has, I guess, put so much study into it and has tried so hard to like really encapsulate the tradition. But I also love Lee. It's got a lot of nostalgia for me. So.
Anyone else? It's a tough one.
This might be the hardest one yet so far, for me at least. I don't know. They're both really good. I don't know.
All right, so we'll switch it up. Thumbs up for WALL-E. Thumbs up for Coco. All right, second look at it. Coco wins out. Those going to overtime. Number 3, Toy Story, the very first movie. Remember, when it was released under Disney. It was not released under Disney Pixar because of the agreement Disney had with Pixar at the time. It wasn't until, can anyone tell me the first movie released under the Disney Pixar label? It was the first Cars in 2006 because the deal was closed in early 2006. The deal was closed between Disney and Pixar, Steve Jobs being the majority owner of Pixar. Number 3, Toy Story versus number 14, Monsters, Inc. Thumbs up for Toy Story. Thumbs up for Monsters, Inc. Monsters, Inc. it is. I will say one more thing about Toy Story. I remember watching that when that came out and just being completely floored by what was this new technology and what was this new way of animation. As I said, Pixar had been used in the past in animated films like The Little Mermaid and Beauty and the Beast to do backgrounds. This being a whole new world where they built the characters, they built the world where that was that completely just enthralled with it. Number 7, Toy Story 2 versus number 10, Finding Nemo. I'm sorry, Finding Dory, the sequel to Finding Nemo. So we'll switch it up. Thumbs up for Finding Dory. All right. And we'll see about this matchup. Remember, the caveat, I put these in, so I wouldn't be surprised what happens here. Number 2, Cars 3, one of possibly my second or third favorite movie to Onward, because of where I was in my life when I saw it the first time. Versus number 15, Ratatouille. They're building a ride in the France Pavilion in Epcot on Ratatouille. They have one in Disney Studios in Paris, if anyone has ever been there or is going. Cars 3, we watched the Cars videos or we talked about Radiator Springs Racers and everything that they have at Disney California Adventure. So get to the vote. Thumbs up for number 15, Ratatouille. That is what I was expecting would happen. Number 15, Ratatouille moves on. So then we have Toy Story versus Finding Nemo, the 1-8 matchup. Thumbs up for Toy Story 3 at number 1. Thumbs up for Finding Nemo. All right. Finding Nemo. It's not a 116 upset, but 1-8. It's the next thing, the next closest thing. Number 5, The Incredibles versus number 13, Up. We'll change it up, and thumbs up for number 13, Up. Thumbs up for The Incredibles. All right. The Incredibles, it is. Number 6, Coco versus number 14, Monsters, Inc. Let's do thumbs up for Coco. Thumbs up for Monsters, Inc. Well, there we go. Monsters, Inc. at number 14 moves on. And we're going to have a double seed, a 2-seed matchup in this semifinal. Number 10, Finding Dory versus number 15, Ratatouille. We'll change it up, and thumbs up for number 15, Ratatouille. Okay, Ratatouille, the big takeaway being do what you love. Nobody can tell you you can't do something, right? Ratatouille moves on. So we have the 8-5 matchup in one semifinal. Finding Nemo at number 8 versus number 5, The Incredibles. Any comments? All right, thumbs up for Finding Nemo. Thumbs up for The Incredibles. And we need that discussion one way or another. Who's going to persuade?
I honestly have no idea.
Let's try it again. Well, let's try it the other way. Thumbs up for number 5, The Incredibles. Thumbs up for Finding Nemo. Double overtime. All right. We gotta do it again. You have to persuade somebody to switch to your movie. Anyone have any comments? Then we'll go back. Thumbs up for Finding Nemo. Thumbs up for The Incredibles. The Incredibles wins out. Number 5 will move on to face either a 14 or 15 seed. I'm not sure I've seen this before. 14 Monsters Inc. versus number 15 Ratatouille. This is that double seed matchup I was talking about. Let's do thumbs up for number 15 Ratatouille. All right. Thumbs up for Monsters Inc. Monsters Inc. wins out. All right, so we have number 5 in the final for this bracket. Number 5, The Incredibles versus number 14, Monsters Inc. Thumbs up for The Incredibles. Thumbs up for Monsters Inc. All right, so Monsters Inc. at number 14. We'll move on. My big takeaway is my seating preferences do not match students who are in the know with Disney. So the way we have it set up, we have our Disney animated, our final 4 from Disney animated is Frozen. From Marvel Star Wars is Avengers Endgame. From Disney live action is Mary Poppins. From Pixar is Monsters Inc. Let's take on the first semifinal. Frozen at number 1 versus Avengers from the number 2 seed from Marvel and Star Wars. Any comments on these two? Yes, it is comparing apples and oranges, but that's what we're asked to do.
It kind of sucks because if I had to pick between these two, like, no, what am I trying to say? These two are my favorite 2 from the 4, so sucks that they didn't go in the championship round. That's what I was trying to say.
That's the luck of the draw, huh?
For really good music, and Frozen has kind of stood the test of time with their songs, even though they can get so annoying. It's just they've stuck.
That brings up a good point. Anyone where the song and Frozen 2 wasn't in this. Songs better in Frozen or Frozen 2?
Frozen.
Frozen? Who says Frozen 2?
Frozen 2.
Okay. Well, this could have been a conversation we could have had, huh? What has the better storyline, Frozen or Frozen 2?
One is much better. One is much better, in my opinion.
Okay. All right, so let's get to it. Thumbs up for Frozen. All right. Thumbs up for Avengers Endgame. All right. We got to have the discussion. We got to decide. It's 4 and 4. So between Frozen and Avengers Endgame, anybody going to switch? Anybody want to persuade others?
Okay, so as we said earlier, Endgame is kind of like the culmination of the movie, but Frozen was like the first of its kind. So I'm gonna go with Frozen on this because it also has the music and it's got a really good storyline.
Okay. Anyone else?
Okay. I'm gonna change my answer to Frozen because I feel like Frozen represents Disney more than Endgame.
Okay. Anyone else want to have comments or do we want to vote? Well, let's change it up. Thumbs up for Avengers Endgame. Thumbs up for Frozen. All right. The words of endorsement worked. So we have Frozen will be in one final, or we'll take up one final slot. On the other side, we have Disney live action, and the winner of that was Mary Poppins, versus the Pixar bracket. The winner of that was Monsters Inc. at the 14 seed, the lowest, or I'm sorry, the highest seed to make it this far. Any conversation about this? Any discussion? All right, let's do thumbs up for Mary Poppins. All right, so Mary Poppins will move on. And look at that. Our final two movies actually come from animated and from live action. They don't come from the acquisitions made by the company throughout history. And both movies have a central, strong female lead from Frozen, two female leads from Frozen and Mary Poppins as well. So that's our matchup. The winner of the animated, the winner of the live action, they're facing off. Any discussion over which one is favorite / better?
Okay, I love Mary Poppins, mainly for Julie Andrews. Love her. The whole movie, and it's just iconic. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows the story. And I feel like it represents like my childhood better than Frozen would because it came out a lot later than Mary Poppins. Um, and I feel like Mary Poppins sequel, Mary Poppins Returns, was it had a better setup for a sequel.
Okay. And I will say Mary Poppins Returns, I believe, was on an earlier bracket of this and seems to have been taken off late in the game. And I will say when Mary Poppins Returns was released, I was very excited that knowing what people said about when the first Mary Poppins was released being such a happy time at the studio and a happy time, like people really enjoyed that. I was really happy when Mary Poppins Returns came out because I thought, here is my Mary Poppins movie. I love the movie Mary Poppins. Mary Poppins Return is amazing to me because my kids got into it. We sang the songs. We know the songs. We really got into watching that. Same thing with Frozen. I think everybody has probably seen that 10 times or more, and knows those songs by heart, most of them. All right. Thumbs up for Mary Poppins. Thumbs up for Frozen. Frozen is your winner. So after everything, we have an animated classic, a movie from the animation department, winning it all. Frozen, the number one in animation, ends up the number one in the bracket. So I will post this. This is part of the weekly discussion for this week. And any questions about next week? All right. How did we do? Thumbs up if we did well. All right. Everybody have a good week. Thanks for joining in. See everybody next week. Bye.